Here are the video solutions for NCFE, Functional Skills Maths Level 1. This is Section A, which is the non-calculator section, and this is from October 2019. So let's make a start on question number 1. So Don spends his holidays climbing mountains. The 20 highest mountains are in Scotland. He started climbing in 2011 and he does 4 a year. So if there's 20 mountains and he does 4 a year, well, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it's going to take him 5 years. So if he starts in 2011, so that's year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he'll finish in 2015. Part B. Okay, so he wants to, okay, we don't really need to read too much of that waffle, to be honest. Just the question is just how much longer does it take to travel by the night bus than fly? So what is the difference between 6 hours 11 and, 6 hours 31 and 14 hours 11? Okay, so we can't really do this as a subtraction. You can't really do 40, well you can, but it's a bit complicated because these are minutes and we're not using the decimal system when we're talking about time, because we're counting in 60s. That's what makes a lot of time questions really quite challenging. So what is the difference between these? We can see these as times of day, if we like, between 6:31 in the morning and 14:11 in the afternoon. Now what I would do is I would move this up to 7 and move this one down to the nearest whole, which is 14. Now the difference between 7 and 14, that is 7 hours. Between 14 and 14:11, that is 11 minutes. And between 6:31 and 7, that is 29 minutes. So the overall difference is, all of these times added together. So that is going to be 7 hours plus, so I'll just write down here the hours to begin with. So that is 7 hours. And what is 29 plus 11? That is 40 minutes. So 7 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, let's have a look at part C. The cost of a return ticket from London to Fort William is 176 and it's a 15% discount. So how much money will he save? So it's not asking for the price of the ticket after the discount, just what is the discount. So the question is basically, what is 15% of 176? Now, working out 10% is always a good starting point. 10% of 176 is 1/10 of this amount, so divide this by 10, that is 17.6, £17.60. So if 10% is £176, how am I going to work out 15? Well, 15% is a 10% plus a 5%, and 5% is half of 10%. So let's just work out, well, what is 1760 divided by 2? 17 divided by 2 is 8 with a remainder of 1. 16 divided by 2, 8, 0. So 5% of 176 is £8.80. So therefore 15% is going to be these two amounts added together. They're not lined up correctly, so I'll just use this space down here to do this final bit of addition. 0 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 8 is 14, carry 1, 7 plus 1 is 8, plus another 8 is 16, carry 1, so the answer is £26.40. So see 15% as a 10% and a 5%, and remember that 5% is half of 10%. Okay, so let's move on to part D. So it's 12 minutes per kilometre for distance forward. And the distance forward is 17, so that's going to be 17 lots of 12 minutes. So let's just work out what 17 times 12 is. 2 7s are 14, carry 1. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. This is the 1 of 10, so put in a 0. 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 1 is 1. Add these two together, so that is 4, 0, 2. So 204 minutes. So that is for the forward. Now for the uphill, we have been told, what did it say? 10 minutes for every 100 metres. So how many 100 metres are there in 1345? 1345 divided by 100, well that is 13.45. So that is going to be 13 13.45 times by 10 minutes, and 13.45 times by 10 is 134.5. So for those two calculations there, I've kind of assumed that you know what you're doing when you're multiplying and dividing by units of or multiples of 10. Okay, right, so the total time is going to be the 134.5 minutes plus the 204. So 134.5 plus 204, well, this is going to be a 0.5 at the end. 4 plus 4 is 8, 3 plus 0 is 3, 1 plus 2 is 3. So that is 338.5 minutes. Now, we want to turn this into hours, so we need to divide this by 60. So let's just think about this. Let's just build up our 60 times table. So 60, remember the 60 times table is the 6's with a 0 on the end. So 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So let's just chuck some zeros on the end there. So 338.5 is it closer to 300 or 360? It's closer to 360, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. It does say give your answer to the nearest hour, so that is 6 hours. Okay, so we want to estimate the angle of the slope and tick the correct statement. Is it less than 5 degrees? Well, 5 degrees, that is a really, really tiny angle, so it's definitely not less than 5. Is it between 5 and 12? Well, 12 is also very, very small. Remember that this angle here is 90, so it's going to be fairly close to 45-ish, maybe 40, 35, hard to say. So it's definitely not between 5 and 12. It's more than 12 and it's less than 90, absolutely. And it's not more than 90 degrees, because if it was more than 90 degrees, it would be an obtuse angle like so. So I'm definitely going with the third option here. Part F, what is the difference in temperature between the top and the bottom? Well, if you're struggling with this, then feel free to do a number line. So 0 degrees, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. So the difference is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees. And part G, so snow, we've been told, is 20%. Rain is 3 out of 10. Now, I'm going to convert this into a percentage. Remember, percent means out of 100. So I'm turning this into a fraction out of 100. To turn a 10 into a 100, we multiply by 10. So I'll do the same to the top so that it's an equivalent fraction. And that is 30 over 100, which is 30%. 30% is greater than 20%, so therefore it's more likely to rain than it is to snow. And that is the end of section A.